Alright, welcome back to the Never-Ending Scout Saga. I'm your host, a man with a brain, most of the time. In front of you is the steering column seal to the firewall, or what is left of one anyway. And I have purchased the 3D printed ones that Scouter 1 sells, and they are nice. However, after I pulled the steering column and made it all pretty and put it back in, the seal doesn't line up with the steering column, and I have looked in all of my books trying to piece together something I might have done, but nothing really stands out, I suppose. And the only other book, the two seals that go under the steering column, it's kind of funky. Pardon me, sir. It's got two rubbers with holes, and then two rubbers with no holes. And I currently just have the two rubbers with holes. So I guess I just need to decode what I need, I guess. But either way, it just doesn't look right if I do that. It just doesn't look right. I do have another steering column. I guess I could look at that. But anyway, see, what happened is that I was laying on my back, trying to put the seal together from the firewall to the steering column, and I might have lost my temper a little bit and smashed the seal. So anyway, we went with the old way, I suppose, and I ended up having to cut this when I took it off the first time, so I very crudely welded that joint, gave her a fresh coat of paint, and then bought some rubber off of Amazon, and there it is. Look at that. It was like 20 bucks, and then labor. These are hard to find, if you can find them, and if you do, then they're just shot like this one. $30 on eBay. I know what I have. Anyway, I'm going to install this seal, hopefully successfully today. I'm going to take another deep dive into my books, and then we'll go from there, I suppose. And the main reason I'm motivated into getting this stupid steering column correct is that I bought a radiator, and they aren't giving those things away for these things. So the hope is to work on the crappy part first, and then work on the less crappy part after, and then the reward is that you can hear it start for the first time in forever. That one looks like it had rubber on it, on both sides. Well, crap. Alright, well, I guess that answers that question. Let me put this one in. I'm probably going to have to like lube, probably use some good old Seal Glide here, and just kind of lightly lube the steering column, bolt this up against the firewall, and then thread the steering column through it, I'll have to take off this portion here that goes into the steering box, but I think everything else should be able to just slide right through it here. No problem. And the long and strung out saga of the steering column will be finished. The steering box, on the other hand, that's probably another video. So let me get to wrenching here, and I'll bring you back when things progress. Alright, so I have one with a hole, and I have another one with a hole. And according to the diagram, I should only have one with a hole. So at some point, somebody else has been in here. I don't think it would make that big of a difference if they both have a hole. It definitely needs to have a rubber gasket on top of it, or else it just fits too sloppy on the steering column. And then the arrangement of the pin there corresponds to the hole on the steering column. So without a gasket, not so great. So we need to have a gasket. The gasket orientation doesn't matter, but the orientation like that won't fit on. Like that. There it goes. So there's one orientation. And there's the other. So we're gonna figure that out, I suppose. But the gasket looks nice. Those are just some sheet metal screws. I couldn't find what was in there before, or I don't remember. I know the kit that you buy from Scouter One comes with screws. So there's one half anyway. So now the trick is to fish the steering column through and not screw up my rubber here. And I was lucky in that I had that spare steering column, so I could try to cut it and then fit it based off of that. So I guess we'll see. And I do have a little bit of room to move it if I have to, but I guess we're gonna find out, gents. I guess we're gonna find out, because that was just a thorn in my side for sure. So now we gotta fish that thing into there, which won't be fun. And then it's the decision of, it's out again, so should I paint it again just to have it get all screwed up, or just get fed up and throw it in there and call it a day, which kind of feels like the latter of it. And then maybe go in at a later time and kind of finesse it with a spray can. But anyway, I will embark on the journey here, and I'll let you know. Phew! Alright, success. That was a nightmare. Looks good, fits good. There's no visible light coming from outside, so that's nice. The two bolts holding that together were not fun to line up. Oh, we also got a new latch for the glove box. They're not cheap, but it can lock, so that's nice. This poor thing was very beat up, so we beat it back into a shape that it can work. Anyway, having the that's nice. Having those two bolts right there all the way out before you put it all together helps. So there we go. There's a factory kit, and it hooks up to the steering box. So now everything should work, hopefully. So after I tighten that bolt, then we can move on to the water pump fiasco. I just wanted to get that wrapped up before I start sticking that radiator in here, having less room to fuss around with anyway. So that is terrible. Number one hate working on cars is dash work, because it sucks. Alright, glad that is over for now. I know this makes some clickety clack noises when it's steering, so I think I just have to adjust I think this bolt here. But steering column in for the final time. Thank goodness. Now we can get on to what I'm better at, which is mechanical things. Alright, let me go see where we're at water pump wise. Alright, it's a few days later, and throughout the week I was throwing coats of paint on the old water pump here, and then I just peeled the tape off, kind of going for a offshoot, I guess. If I don't like it, I'll end up painting it anyway. The fan sits here, and this will be exposed, but I figured if I give her a coat of some oil, it'll stay that way. So the red I used is the Ace Rust Stop International Red, and there's your number if you so choose to. The Bi-Mart near me also had International Red, but it didn't have it in the 15-ounce can. It had it in your standard size. So for $7, whereas Bi-Mart wanted $10 for just one of those. It sprayed really nice. It has the that style tip on it. So I would buy that again for sure, in case you're wondering. And it looked like the cap does not really look like what the color is. Especially in the store, it actually looked darker until I took it outside. So then we can put our black pulley on there, and it has seen some things, but actually we're gonna install it first. So I did end up getting some of the Permatex water pump seal, and then I scrounged around and found that I had a few of these gaskets laying around. So we're gonna coat both sides and throw it together here. And I need to look for the bolts, which I know are on the dash, so probably got to clean the threads up on those. And yeah, let's see if we can get a water pump in this thing. It's been, you know, well over a year. Alright, let me prep where this goes, and then hopefully when you come back there'll be a water pump bolted back onto it. Alright, well, we put it together. Everything went together pretty nice. I have to wait 24 hours for the stuff to cure, but I did swing by my local O'Reilly's and picked up some coolant. So I got nice fresh coolant to go into the nice pretty radiator. Got a little bit of a wallop down there, but I'm hoping it'll keep all its liquids inside. So in the meantime, I've got the belt on, put the fan on. It does still turn over. The battery was pretty dead, so I had to charge it again. The blower motor did work, and so now I'm just gonna, well, excuse me, thank you. We're just gonna clean all the stuff off of it, and hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to pull the darn thing out, which will be nice, right? Will that be nice? Huh? Maybe? No. Tail wag means yes. That's what I thought. Alright, well, I'm gonna open a cold beverage and kind of nitpick away here. Alright, so as you could hear, it runs, and surprisingly I didn't have to mess with the carburetor. It did get nice and toasty, as it still is. I did burp it quite a bit and then put the cap on. I tried the heater out. The heat blows nice hot air, so can't go wrong with that. I don't hear any drips, which is nice. The seal held pretty good, and that paint matches pretty darn good, so I would be happy with picking up some more of those. As you saw from the backfire, it definitely needs tuning, and I believe I don't have a usable timing light. I might. I'll have to dig around and see, but I need to clean out the oil bath air cleaner. I need to mount that, and then that's how you need to tune it with that on there, and then rig up the choke, and then it still couldn't idle down low enough. I think it's how I have it set right now. It didn't flood, so that was pretty nice. So maybe the piece of dirt or whatever in the carburetor finally decided to go away. After properly tuning it, I think our next hurdle is our gas tank situation, And this time it actually idled for quite a while, even when that thing was barely like half full. It actually consumed the amount I thought it would, whereas before it would just suck it right down, probably because of the poor idle settings or the vacuum leaks, one of the two anyway. So we need to definitely upgrade our gas situation. In the meantime, I was hoping I could pull it out of the garage here because it's quite messy behind it, and I need to flip it around so the gas tank will be on that side because I'm working on the driver's side, and as it sits I can't really access it. It's a little cramped, so this might be a next weekend project, but in the meantime, thank you all for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you wish. I am over 600 followers, which I'm kind of blown away by, but thank you all so much. So we'll see you in the next one, guys.